Hey everyone, so welcome to the Poli-Sci 1 orientation. In the orientation videos, I am going to go through the course syllabus with you. And there are a few pop quiz questions on the syllabus in the introduction assignment. So, course starts on the 15th of August, ends on the 16th of December, although we're going to wrap it up with the last final exam, essay exam due on the 15th. Obviously, you've got my contact information, includes my cell phone number, which I'm fine with texts or phone calls. Just make sure that you include your name and the course that you're in. So if you just shoot me a text that says, hey, Miss Gardner, what was the homework for this week? That's not all that helpful because I don't know who you are or which of my multiple classes you're in. All right. So you can text me, you can call me, you can email me. If you email instructors, it's always best to email from your college email account because outside email accounts sometimes get trapped in our firewall. And then, of course, we've always got the handy-dandy Canvas messaging, which also works. I will note sometimes I do have issues, though, in the messaging with sending back and forth files, but we can cross that bridge if we come to it. All right, so office hours. A lot of students are confused about the term office hours. Office hours should be probably called faculty tutoring hours because really what they is time devoted each week for faculty to offer extra help to students, right? So my tutoring hours are Tuesdays from 11 to 12:45. You can come in face-to-face if you want. I'm at the LB campus in Office B118, or you can Zoom in. The link for the Office Zoom hours is actually embedded in our Canvas page on the left-hand side in the menu. So Tuesdays 11 to 12:45 and Wednesdays 4 to 5 p.m., right? And I did that because I do have some students, obviously, who may be working during the day and would prefer those later hours. If that's not late enough for you, if those times don't work for you, not a problem. You can certainly text me, email me, call me, and ask me for a different time, and we can schedule something, okay? All right, course description. So this is kind of a basic civics course. I mean, you should have taken something similar to this your senior year of high school, kind of an American Gov-Econ course. So we should be just diving a little bit deeper than perhaps you did in high school, or if you took the AP version, we may even, be about the same. So we're gonna study obviously a little bit of the U.S. history. We're gonna study key documents including the U.S. Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, and then we're gonna dive into the really difficult stuff to understand, which is what the heck is this thing called federalism, and why are there state laws versus federal laws, and state prison versus federal prison, and all kinds of the craziness that goes along with our federal-based system. All right. Now you'll see that the course student learning outcomes, these are kind of the big concepts you're supposed to quote unquote master by the end of the course. And that's to describe the founding principles, development, and basic features of the U.S. Constitution. And that would include, by the way, our civil rights and liberties. That's my favorite chapter in the book. To be able to evaluate, analyze, understand the major powers and processes of the national and state political institutions, including at the federal level and the state level, the executive, judicial, and legislative branches. We focus mostly on the federal level in this class, although I would note we do have a module and a section on California government at the end. It's one that I kind of put together myself to avoid you having to buy a second book. And we also obviously talk about state functions and powers and at various other points during the course as well. And then finally, your job is to learn how to analyze and understand the relationship among and between federal, state, and local governments, right? And I would love to dive more into local governments than we do. Honestly, if you really want to start making change, my dad, who's deep into politics, would argue you got to start at the local level first. And actually, if you want to get your feet wet in politics, great way to do that is to run for a local office. Unfortunately, we don't really have enough time to devote to understanding local government as we should. And as you transfer on, you will be given opportunities to take courses specifically designed to look at local government. Okay, the required course material is the last part of this first orientation video. Let me scroll up here just a little bit. This one is the thing that gets confusing, and I'm going to try to do a second video next week talking about the Follett Access Program. But long story short, starting last semester, Merced College partnered with Follett, which is a private company that essentially provides access and distributes access to different books, that's ebooks and other course material. And so they're kind of the middleman between the publishers over here, Follett in the middle, and then, of course, the consumers of these materials, which includes colleges and students and faculty, right? So as part of this partnership, students can either opt in to the Follett Access Textbook Program or opt out. If you opt in, you opt in for all your courses, and if you opt out, you opt out for all your courses. So what does it mean if you opt in? If you opt in, what you do is you pay, I think it's right now right around $25, don't quote me on that, dollars per unit. So this is a 3-unit class. It would cost you $75 that would be charged to your student account for the course materials for this course. So if you got, obviously, if it's a 4-unit class, it's $100, right? You can do the math, right? So if you opt out, that means you need to go and buy the textbook on your own. Again, it's not impossible, but you definitely need to weigh the pros and cons for yourself in terms of what's going to work best for your budget. You need to take a look at other courses you're taking, how much the textbooks are if you opt in, based on if you opt out, what are they going to cost you? I can't tell you one way or the other which way you should go, but I do want to say that you should definitely take a look, if you're taking this course, in terms of what does the textbook cost you if you bought it outside the system. So on that note, I did include the ISBN numbers of both the 15th and the 14th edition. And you can rent it, you can buy it, doesn't matter to me. And again, I'm okay with the slightly older 14th edition. You can do hard copy, you can do ebook, doesn't matter to me, however you want to get it, but you do need it. I am going to require that you cite the textbook as part of your homework answers, including the page numbers from the book. So you do need the book, right? If you're going to opt in, you should be able to get all of that course material on day 1, and I will be sending out more instructions on that. If you opt out, you do need to purchase the book ASAP, but I will post at least the first chapter or so of the book in a PDF form if you're waiting for it to arrive in the mail. All kinds of prices out there in terms of renting, buying digital versus hard copy. So I'll leave it to you to be good consumers and make a wise, informed decision in terms of how you want to get your access to the book. If you find a copy of the book, if you decide to opt out, which, by the way, you have until census date to opt out. If you want to know what that date is, you can send me a text or an email, and I can look it up specifically. I don't have it right off the top of my head right this moment, but it's a little bit into the course. It's like 20% into the course is the census date. So you have until then to decide whether or not you want to opt in or opt out. So again, just make sure you make a wise, informed decision that fits best with you and your budget. All right, so that's module number, or sorry, I should say orientation video number 1. I posted what I went through in the syllabus below this. I also posted a full copy of the PDF copy of the syllabus above this first orientation video for you to download, and you can go through it as we go through the syllabus, you can go through it on your own. So for now, go ahead and scroll down through that and then click next, and we'll go on to orientation video part 2.